It's the second half of our action-filled day, and if you just joined us, here are the results of our first 3 games. Now, we present to our 4th game, and we stay with action from the 18 under as the undefeated top team in the division go against the hometown team. As we continue the live coverage of the country's premier youth basketball league, the one and only Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL. And for our games today, again, first set of 3 was between Davao King Thorns and Rizal Switch Fiber. But now, the second set of 3 this time, JT Bulacan Taipan and the hometown heroes, the Antipolo JY Titans, 8 in action under coming your way. Good afternoon, everybody. The name is Cho Pangilinan, covering the action with Coach Mark Dandan and with our courtside reporter, Miss Rinoa Sanchez. Coach Mark, the undefeated team Bulacan 5-0 against the hometown heroes with a losing record, unfortunately, 2-3.
Now first, good afternoon, Cho. Good afternoon, everybody. And this is a great time for Antipolo to bounce back after losing their last game. We'll see if they can do something against the unbeaten JT Bulacan Taipan.
Speaking of undefeated and last game, Bulacan winning against the Marikina Junior Shoemasters in their last outing.
Well, barely getting off a win there, winning 75-72. You're looking at the stats. Bulacan shot poorly compared to Marikina, 43% from the field. But you're looking at the second chance points, 15-5, just enough to scrape by against the Marikina Junior Shoemasters.
And that will make them 5-0 after that outing. But now, Antipolo JY Titans unfortunately lost a 10-point loss against the Rizal Switch Fiber.
Well, you're looking at the stats as well. The field goal percentages are almost equal, 43% to 42% for Antipolo. But the crucial stat here are the fast break points, 26-21. In the end, the outside shooting, only 12-11 for Antipolo, really did them in.
So the Antipolo JY Titans, the hometown heroes, looking to win here in their home court. Ito namang Bulacan JT Taipan looking to continue their winning ways. And now let's turn it over to our venue announcer to start our ball game, Mr. Denzel Santiago.
Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL
would like to thank Dorite Bola ng Pinoy, the first Pinoy basketball brand, Don Benitos, ang pambansang cassava, Nature Spring, #1 bottled water in the Philippines, Pound for Pound Fitness, Be Liga Ready, Jinky Skin, empowering women by redefining beauty, Pound Active, for quality sportswear, Wing Bowl, it's like coming home, Chris Jacob Collection, for affordable but quality daily perfumes.
Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL
would like to thank Dorite Bola ng Pinoy, the first Pinoy basketball brand, Don Benitos, ang pambansang cassava, Nature Spring, #1 bottled water in the Philippines, Pound for Pound Fitness, Be Liga Ready, Jinky Skin, empowering women by redefining beauty, Pound Active, for quality sportswear, Wing Bowl, it's like coming home, Chris Jacob Collection, for affordable but quality daily perfumes.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Basketball action continues here in Antipolo Sports Hub. This is the Season 2 of Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL, ang liga ng bawat batang Pilipino. This is the battle between the 18 under of Bulacan, JT Taipan, and Antipolo, JY Titans. We are live on our official Facebook page and YouTube channel of Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL. And now it's time to meet the starters from your Bulacan, JT Taipan. Guard number 5, Richie Lacson. Also guard number 22, Ranger Pangan. Forward number 23, Carmelo Canlapan. Also forward number 4, Justin Rain Laksamana. Playing center number 9, Zyron Gonzalez. Head coach of Bulacan JV Taipan, John Paul Magbitang. Assistant coach Andy Roy Chongson, Giro Del Pozo, Christian Zor Canlapan. Team manager Charles Kimpo. Team owner Joe Bensai. And now it's time to meet the starters from your Antipolo JY Titans. Guard number 10, Leon Abuela. Also guard number 8, Nino Ferrer. Forward number 23, Joned Cruz. Also forward number 25, Mark Encero. Playing center number 34, Aaron Nashon. Head coach of Antipolo JY Titans, Iboy Simon. Assistant coach Mark Ondoyes. Haiki Consarao. Team manager JY Titans.
Our Dorite Bola ng Pinoy team starters for Antipolo, we have Abuela, Ferrer, Cruz, Quintero, Nacion. Bulacan, we have Lacson, Pangan, Canlapan, Laksamana, and Gonzalez. Once again to open our second set of 3 games in the 18 under division, live here in the Antipolo Sports Hub. Of course, in the Antipolo City. As we await the start of our jump ball. And again, quick recap. Bulacan, a team from far away.
Very far away.
Very far away, at least from here. Definitely far away, 5-0. But the hometown heroes, again, despite having a 2-3 record, underwhelming season, looking to win here, looking to not disappoint their fans. As that is a miss coming from Antipolo for the first attempt of our ball game. And again, talking about this Bulacan squad, again, undefeated. Just a close call against the Marikina Junior Shoe Masters as Canlapan registers from deep.
And that's something Antipolo has to avoid, allowing open threes for Bulacan and turnover there.
So definitely that's one thing they will have to watch out. It's kind of weird not seeing Mr. Del Pozo on the starting lineup. Again, one of the guys to talk about in this Bulacan. We'll talk about him more soon. But right now, Antipolo. That was from Ferrer. Here comes Bulacan. Well, fire from 3. Definitely seeing the confidence to light it up from deep. And again, Antipolo having an underwhelming season so far. Showed glimpses in the first few games of this season, especially that guy Ferrer, but hasn't been really showing up for his squad recently. Meanwhile, a 3-pointer once again, that is overshot. They get it back though. They send it out, good ball movement. Canlapan for 3. Unable to put one in. They get it back, shot clock now at 10. Canlapan, oh, that is swiped away. And here they go. They fire from 3. Still won't go for Antipolo.
Threes are flying left and right here early in the first. Both teams not really doing much offensively. Just taking the first available shot and jacking things up.
Here they go once again. Cruz firing it from 3. Still won't fall for the boys from Antipolo. Possession shall stay with them. There's a foul going to be called on Bulacan JT Taipan.
Poor block out there by Bulacan. They didn't really have to move. They had the position, just had to hold it before moving.
That is off the mark coming from Abajuela. They get it back though. Cruz off that save. Still with him. Sends it to Ferrer, the fake. Now Abajuela trying to direct the offense. Shot clock violation called on them.
But that shot by Abuela never hit the rim. That's why the shot clock did not reset. Poor recognition there from Antipolo. Looks like Bulacan finally calling a play here, so the first of the game.
Certainly had again the confidence to shoot from deep. And speaking of, but so far only made one.
They're 1 out of 6.
Not the most efficient, at least right now. Even last game, they only shot 4 out of 14, 28%. Definitely a department that needs improvement.
Even if you're Antipolo, you know, you're not the taller team here in terms of front line. We all know that Bulacan has vastly improved in terms of adding these bigger players compared to their squad last year. So if you're Antipolo, you want to get downhill and challenge those bigs, get them in foul trouble early.
Definitely that's what you want to do. But missing free throws will not be the answer, as we see Coach B-Boy Simon of the Antipolo JY Titans. Again, a very well-known player, played in the NBA. The real ones know what the NBA is.
I do.
Meanwhile, Bulacan trying to generate some offense, but so far it's 3-1. Talking about the Bulacan JT Taipan, only one player, actually 2 players averaging in double figures. We have Charles Victoria with almost 10 points per game and Del Pozo with almost 17 points per game. Looks like a foul going to be called on Bulacan. So Antipolo shall gain possession.
Lots of early misses here from the outside by Bulacan. This is the only one they made so far.
Here they go, Ferrer. Fires from mid-range. Not his day. Bulacan looking to rush as we approach our 5-minute mark of our first period. Canlapan, another fire, and he sends it home.
Feels like, Joe, that Bulacan is playing a lot like their main guy, Russell Del Pozo, who just jacks up a lot of threes.
And definitely the confidence that Del Pozo brings into his squad, but Antipolo able to answer back with a 2-pointer.
Better press break there from Antipolo. Easy 2 points.
So far, all points coming from Canlapan. And he's not even in the top 5 in points per game for his team. Good to see some of the other guys stepping up. Well, not in the absence of Del Pozo, but at least in this lineup as he fires another one. But that is off the mark. Here goes Antipolo. Nashon, nowhere to go, sends it out to Cruz, the leading scorer of their squad, and puts one home.
Good job by Cruz, creating separation for that jumper, rejecting the ball screen, stepping back, and a travel off the inbound.
And Cruz will have to do more of those. Again, as Antipolo has a losing record, but definitely inspired since they are indeed playing in their hometown. Meanwhile, a Nature Spring timeout going to be called by Coach B-Boy Simon as they're only trailing by 1. Under 4 minutes remaining in our first period.
for the love of basketball, there is a growing trend in Antipolo JY Titans where player extends their senior high school years just to maximize their basketball playing time. At kanina nga nakausap natin ang tatlo sa kanilang mga manlalaro. At halos lahat sila ay ginagawa na ito ngayon at ang iba naman ay willing daw to i-take just to gain exposure sa mas malalaking liga. Jo and Coach Mark?
Thank you very much, Renoa Sanchez, for that report. And indeed, Coach Mark, I'm sure you have a lot of thoughts about that. You're a coach, and definitely an issue repeating years in school just for basketball.
It's not a common misconception. I mean, it's been happening for years on end. Bad teammates do it as well. But as a coach, you want your kid to succeed and put them in a spot where they can be very successful. And these kids feel like they want to be able to maximize their opportunity here in the junior MPBL. I mean, it's their life at the end of the day. Who are we to judge them?
Definitely, but again, I'm sure not everyone will agree with their decisions.
Yeah, of course. I'm sure there are other parties who will say that you have to move up for your skill or for your talent. But thankfully for these kids, we will have the junior MPBL D-League, which they can do.
So that's, of course, another topic, because even though, they don't have to repeat yung school years nila anymore because they can definitely play on the older divisions. But again, kanya-kanyang decisions yan if they think that will make them grow as a basketball player. And definitely, who are we to judge them? I mean, may mga players naman na gumagawa nun, and ngayon, we see them playing in the professional leagues, in the semi-professional leagues. Definitely not the worst thing in the world. Meanwhile, Bulacan up by 1. Still a close game right here. No team registering double digits. As we see now, Charles Victoria in the game, but still no Russell Del Pozo. Meanwhile, another Russell. Mark Russell Santos takes a shot, but that is off the mark.
And our spinner does him a favor there. That shot went way up, but never landed on the waterfall.
Antipolo. We're down to 2 minutes and 27 seconds in our opening period. Abeki Bell now in the ball game. Again, another notable name on this side of Antipolo.
Antipolo has a few guys who look like they can lead the team in scoring, but nobody really stepping up to become that alpha, the main guy. And that's what they've been looking for early here in the season.
And if you're gonna look at the team stats, Coach, and again, Bulacan, JT Bulacan, Taipan, 5-0, but they're not even in the top 5 points per game. Rebounds, steals, blocks, fast break points. But they're 5-0. So perhaps, can we conclude that they're doing well in all departments? They're not focusing on just one?
Of course, and if you're a team, you focus too much on one thing, you're not good at the other. That's not a recipe for success. And it's hard for some of these teams to find an identity because we have some teams here, and this being the reality of the junior and PBL, their teams were school-based, right? Majority or the core at least of that team be a varsity team, and some of these are really club teams. So the chemistry that you have to build or has been built by these school teams is something other teams are still searching for.
Again, definitely a different situation, different situations for different teams. Definitely not an excuse, as we see a traveling violation called on Antipolo.
And that's one too many times for Castillo. Traveled once, didn't get caught. Traveled twice, that time trespassing on illegal ground.
A deadlock at 9. And if we're gonna look at more stats, Bulacan is not even in the top 5 of points from turnovers and points in the paint. Definitely safe to conclude they're not focusing on one thing, but doing well in all sorts of things. Meanwhile, Antipolo, that is off the mark, coming from Abejuela. But they get it back. Still no good. That was from Abeki Bell. Meanwhile, the shot that won't fall for Mr. Victoria, picked up by Abuela. Here comes Abeki Bell. Antipolo within the top 10 of points per game as a team this season so far. Fading away is Nashon from the baseline. That is overshot. Under a minute remaining. Bulacan chooses to slow things down. Laksamana to Victoria. Now Santos for three. Unable to sink it. Abikibel picks it up. Last 24 seconds. Abikibel not slowing down off the glass. Gets it going in.
Tough shot there by Abikibel in transition. Almost a bad shot because they had the last shot for the quarter. Good thing he made it.
Right now, shot clock is off. Santos unable to register. And that'll do it for our opening period. 11-9. Only a 2-point lead on the side of the Antipolo JY Titans. The hometown heroes. Me and Coach Marshall return. Once again, this is your Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL.
Liga ng bayan na to, mga kabataan na sugod. Junior MPBL para sa'yo, ang liga ng bawat batang Pilipino. Liga ng bayan.
Back to the action right here for the start of our second period. It's 11-9 in favor of the hometown heroes, the Antipolo JY Titans. Safe to conclude it was a relatively slow quarter.
In terms of shooting, yes, because Bulacan only shooting 17%. On the other hand, Antipolo just a bit better, but not really good at 25. Bulacan's problem is their shot selection. They're just taking random shots out of the flow of their offense, not really making a lot.
Meanwhile,
Okay.
Victoria will miss. Bulacan trailing just by 2 as Victoria. Crazy shot going in for him.
Believe it or not, Joe, that's only the 5th attempt inside the arc for Bulacan and their first make.
So at one point in this ball game, they had more attempts outside than inside. Meanwhile, Antipolo, again, you talked about field goal percentage, Coach. Antipolo is top 5 in field goal percentage, top 2 in free throw percentage, and top 10 in 3 points. Talk about a good shooting output, but they do have a record of 2-3. On the other side, Abikibel. Good defense.
Great chase down there by Abikibel. But talking about those percentages, so it feels like Antipolo's not in the top anything right now in terms of offense, especially being here on their home floor.
Certainly an ironic thing, but trust that they'll find their groove sooner or later as they have a band supporting them at the sidelines. Deadlock at 11. Antipolo and Bulacan just going toe-to-toe with this one. No team getting a comfortable cushion. Meanwhile, no good from Quintero. Mark Russell Santos for JT Bulacan Taipan. Again, still no Russell Del Pozo. As Victoria has it, nowhere to go, sends it out. Simon Pulong Barit, unable to muscle his way inside, but still within. That goes in! 3-pointer coming from Miggy Calachan.
That's the 4th make from the outside for Bulacan. Mainly their offense, really. 12 of the 14 points, all from the outside.
Bulacan definitely feeling it from outside. Meanwhile, Abikibel, fearless drive. Intense contact inside. 2 free throws coming up for him.
Yeah, that's what you like about Abikibel. You know, he can hurt you many ways. He has a pull-up jumper. He can hit from the outside, but his strength really getting downhill, getting these fouls. He's been to the free throw line a bit, but he hasn't been able to make them.
So Mr. MPBL shall go to the free throw line. A chance to cut lead to just 2.
If you're a team being coached by B-Boy Simon, you have to be better shooting from the outside. B-Boy Simon is one of the best shooters of Philippine basketball, period. Not just of any league or any team.
And I'm sure, Coach, you know that because you were a witness to him.
Yes, I watched him torch my father's old team in the old NBA when B-Boy Simon was playing for Laguna. My dad was coaching for Manila. B-Boy Simon scored 52 points.
Yes.
It was not fun to watch if you're a fan of Manila.
Definitely not fun. But right now, speaking of not fun, Antipolo not having fun. As it's not necessarily the game for them. As Bulacan now has another chance to respond. And perhaps take a much bigger lead as Santos sends it out. Victoria back to Santos. Another attempt from deep. Unable to send it home. Pulong Barret, offensive board. Abekibel gets the leather. Kalachan picks him up. Abekibel, the pick from Castillo. Still with him. Castillo inside the paint. One-hander. Unable to let it fall. Hilario gets it back. Good passing. Ends up with a bucket coming from Quintero.
Easily the best possession of Antipolo, moving that basketball, even off a miss. Hilario doing the selfish play, giving up for a layup.
Meanwhile, Santos losing the leather. And here goes Castillo for Antipolo. Attacking the lane, not looking back. Hilario tries to save it, but it's out of bounds. Possession going back to JT Bulacan Taipan.
Castillo forgot that he had a teammate right beside him. Decides to go 1-on-2, shoots an air ball layup. That's rare. Change the ball here by Arres.
As we see Mr. Jared Cruz again, averaging 13 points per game. Certainly will need to step up in this close competition so far. As Mark Russell Santos brings it down for Bulacan. He fires another 3. Still unable to send it home. Here comes the Antipolo JY Tyrants. Hilario inside. Muscles his way through.
That's better right now for Antipolo. Their shots mostly in the paint. And Hilario flexing the muscle there for the layup.
And Hilario averages 5.5 points per game. Will definitely need his production. Meanwhile, De La Vega, top of the arc 3. That is short, picked up by Victoria. Another try from deep. Still won't fall for Bulacan.
Bulacan slowly but surely shooting themselves out of this game. They are struggling.
When Coach Mark says you're struggling, you're definitely struggling. But Cruz lighting it up from downtown.
You can see the difference between the basketball being played by Antipolo versus Bulacan, and right now probably going to see Russell Del Pozo check in for the first time in this game.
Again, a controversial choice as that is in and out for Mr. Mark Russell Santos. Meanwhile, Abekibel sends it out. Hilario from the corner. Won't fall. Rebound, Pulong Barret. Here comes Santos at the break. Losing the leather once again, but possession stays with them.
Same ball possession there for Bulacan. You know, even if Russell Del Pozo wasn't playing majority of the first half, you could say he was there in spirit because all his teammates were just throwing up shots. All threes.
Right now, oh, that is blocked by Castillo. No ID, no entry. How do you like that one?
Checking the stats here, Bulacan already shot 20 3-pointers. We're still 4 minutes left in this second quarter, and Russell Del Pozo still has to take a shot.
4 minutes left. Here comes Bulacan. Nowhere to go. Hands it off. Del Pozo thought about the 3. Will settle for a baseline jumper. That is good. Mr. Del Pozo.
Instant offense from your main guy. That's what you want.
Again, Russell Del Pozo averaging 16.5 points per game. Here comes Hilario. The bump. Nowhere to go. Abekibel attacks, settles for a mid-range jumper, and a foul going to be called.
What a smart play by Abiki Bell. Uses the shot fake to get open, feels the defender, initiates the contact, gets 2 free throws.
Now let's turn it over to Miss Rinoa Sanchez for a report.
For 3 months already, James Del Pozo of Bulacan JT Taipan is staying in Mapua University as he prepares for the NCAA season. Sabi niya nga, naho-homesick siya dahil may mga bagay na hindi na siya kayang gawin katulad ng paglalabas-labas dahil may curfew sa Mapua. Coach Mark?
Thank you very much, Rinoa, for that report. And again, that's personally something I didn't experience. Ikaw ba, Coach? Experience mo yun?
Curfew? Tatawa na tayo dyan.
No comment si Coach
No
Mark.
comment.
Then again, that's the sacrifice we'll have to make if you want, to condition yourself for the upcoming season, lalo na for the Mapua Red Robins, as we see Gapak and 1 3-point play opportunity for him. And we'll cut the lead to just 3 as we take a look at this pound-for-pound fitness foul counted move.
It's a great move there. Again, the impact of having a Russell Del Pozo on the floor really changes the dynamic in terms of defense for Antipolo. They really have to pay more attention to him, leaving his teammates wide open.
And one guy we haven't seen for Antipolo, Mr. Keith Matthew Dagil, the top 3 scorer so far in our 18 and under division, averaging 19. But again, we're not seeing him for Antipolo. Probably one of the reasons why Antipolo can't really get a big lead. Meanwhile, Pichino now to Gapa, intercepted. Here comes Ferrer. Lengthy guard for Antipolo, picked up by Gapak. Ferrer steps on the brakes, nowhere to go. Finding his teammates, finds Castillo. Sends it out, Ferrer has it. Steps back, nowhere to go. Good defense from Gapak. Cruz fires from deep. Unable to rip the ropes. Del Pozo brings it down. Fires one from deep. Still won't go for JT Bulacan Taipan. Over 2 minutes remaining in our second period. Del Pozo against Cruz. Cruz drops it to Castillo. Out to Cruz. He fires for 3. Rips the ropes. Jared Cruz for 3.
The second one for Cruz here in the second quarter. That shooting coming up big right now in a game that's really low scoring. Contributions from guys like Cruz will be big.
How do you like that one? Meanwhile, a call to stop the play right there as Antipolo now up by 6. Slowly but surely getting a comfortable lead. But Gapak a chance to minimize it once again. So far, it has been Jared Cruz leading the charge for the Antipolo JY Titans with 8 points. As first one is good for Mr. Gapak. Second one is good for Gapak. Cuts the lead to just 5. Cruz handles the leather. The pick from Quintero. Double dribble violation.
Would you call that illegal dribbling?
It is indeed illegal, and he
It's
dribbled.
So technically, it is illegal dribbling.
Correction, Jared Cruz now has 11 points. If I'm not mistaken, the first player to get on double figures this game as Del Pozo rips the ropes from the top of the arc.
Of all the people you leave open, you cannot leave Russell Del Pozo that open. There's a reason why he wears number 30.
Here they go. Attacking Ferrer, intense contact as Pulong Barit on the floor, but we'll just stand it off.
Tough landing there for Pulong Barit, but looks like he's made of quality material, so he's okay. See it again, the great ball fake. Pulong Barit committing to the fake there.
Here goes Nino Ferrer, averaging 6 points, 2 boards, and a single assist per game. First one is good. Playing almost 21 minutes per game. Second one on its way.
Now let me ask you, Cho, why do kids right now wear these single leg sleeves?
Well,
Why not
aside,
two?
well, aside from it looks good on court. Well, actually, that's the only reason I could think of. It definitely looks good, lalo na matangkad itong si Mr. Nino Ferrer. Pag ako nagsuot yan, coach, baka di bagay.
Lalo na ako.
Kailangan long legs.
Ganun na nga.
But right now, you know, Antipolo up by 2. Those long legs of Ferrer looking to be put into good use as it fades away and no good on that mid-range jumper.
Antipolo again evolving into one-on-one plays. They got this lead because they were moving the ball well. Right now they're getting stuck again.
And we're just down to the last 12 seconds. Del Pozo thought about the 3, the instant contest, but sends it inside. One-hander, that is good. Coming from Ellis Pesino.
Great play there coming off 2 staggered screens. Del Pozo being very unselfish, and there goes our basketball.
And that is the end of our first half. It's 25 all. A deadlock right here. Another deadlock right here. Me and Coach Mark shall return. And once again, this is Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL.
Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL.
Would like to thank Dorite Bola ng Pinoy, the first Pinoy basketball brand, Don Benitos, ang pambansang cassava, Nature Spring, #1 bottled water in the Philippines, Pound for Pound Fitness, Be Liga Ready, Jinky Skin, empowering women by redefining beauty, Pound Active, for quality sportswear, Wing Bowl, it's like coming home, Chris Jacob Collection, for affordable but quality daily perfumes,
Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL.
would like to thank Dorite Bola ng Pinoy, the first Pinoy basketball brand, Don Benitos, ang pambansang cassava, Nature Spring, #1 bottled water in the Philippines, Pound for Pound Fitness, Be Liga Ready, Jinky Skin, empowering women by redefining beauty, Pound Active, for quality sportswear, Wing Bowl, it's like coming home, Chris Jacob Collection for affordable but quality daily perfumes.
And at the half, once again, it's a deadlock at 25. Both teams not really finding their groove, their rhythm. Just getting a couple of baskets here and then. Only good for 25 all. Coach Mark, your thoughts in our first half?
Well, an offensive clinic, it is not. This game has been a struggle for both these teams. They have 25 points each. They only had 11 and 9 respectively in terms of Antipolo and Bulacan in the first quarter. For these teams, it's more on their shot selections. Bulacan has been jacking up threes left and right. They're currently shooting 5 of 25 from 3. And they're only shooting 4 of 9 from 2. You're looking at the leading scorers. Cruz, the only guy in double figures with 11. MPBL with 6. Quintero with 2. Canlapan with 9 off the bench. Del Pozo, who checked in late in the second quarter with 5. And Gapak with 4. And again, it has not been a clinic in terms of offense. So if you like offense, you know, this is not the game to watch it. But what is a challenge for these teams to play defensively and keeping that pace. Kasi ang mangyayari dito, Cho, the first team that really starts knocking down will probably mount a big run because they've been struggling. And the law of average state that some way, somehow, one of these teams will eventually break out of it. And it feels like one of those games that only takes one run to really make a difference.
And I like your point, Coach, about the defense because, again, no shots is falling for them. And, you know, they would have no choice but to defend.
Exactly. And that's the last thing you want to give. You know, even if your shot's not falling, you have to keep defending. That's why there's two half courts. One for offense, one for defense. And I know it's very tiring because you're playing defense for 24 seconds and you come down and you miss a shot. It's very depressing sometimes. But the fact of the matter is you have to keep playing defense regardless of the fact if you're not making shots.
Yeah, and again, if you play good defense, you know, you might get a steal,
Exactly.
you might get a turnover, and then you might get a
layup.
shot.
Exactly. And that's how you fuel your offense.
Just a domino effect, but of course you will have to start the motion to let those dominoes fall. Right now, that is certainly what both teams are looking to do. Again, quite the ironic game. Antipolo almost, rather in the top 10 of all the major percentage categories, but not necessarily top in today's game. And for Bulacan, you know, their main man Del Pozo being inserted late. So, again, not the usual scenarios we're seeing. Definitely, again, just like what Coach Mark pointed out, expect more defense coming your way in this second half. As it's Antipolo possession, as we see Cruz and Abekibel, the primary contributors for Antipolo in this ball game and in the floor. For Bulacan naman, we see Del Pozo inserted, no Charles Victoria, and no Mark Russell Santos. Jared Cruz will miss. Castillo inside the paint. One-hander fade away is good.
And that's how you get your offense started. High percentage shots. Good rebound there. Good defensive rebound by Castillo and the hook.
And perhaps another way to get the points, but Castillo says no ID, no entry. On the other side, Abejuela unable to convert on that break. And again, perhaps one of the ways to convert is to get those offensive rebounds. Just like what Coach Mark said. Meanwhile, basket and one coming from Mr. Gapak. A chance to make it a three-point play and a chance to take the lead as we take another look in this pound-for-pound fitness foul counted move.
Smart play there by Gapak, using the fake, getting the contact. And again, Bulacan needs better shot selection, and that's one way of doing it.
One way of doing it, patience. Not chuckling up shots, but rather waiting for the right moment, but he's unable to make the right shot as he misses that bonus free throw. And defense is certainly leveling up. Abejuela, now Abekibel, shot clock at 9. This time it's Jared Cruz outside and a foul. As I believe Del Pozo hits the shooting arm of Jared Cruz.
Again, that's a no-no. We talked about it last Sunday, Cho. So you cannot hit the shooting arm when you're challenging a jump shooter.
The shooting arm you must not hit.
Thank you, Yoda.
You also used the Yoda line a while ago. As Cruz' first free throw is good. Second one on its way. Still good. Again on our screens, Coach B-Boy Simon, head coach of the Antipolo JY Titans 18 under, as well as the PCU Dolphins Seniors Division, as Jared Cruz goes 3 out of 3. Meanwhile, Gapak inside the paint. Oh, that was intended for his teammate, but Cruz gets a hold of it. Forward dribble. Smart play coming from Jared Cruz.
And as we said, Joe, getting those stops on defense fuels your fast breaks. Easy layup for Cruz.
They will need to get all points they can get in any way they can get it. Meanwhile, oh, what a move that time coming from number 27. That was Yuan Fajardo.
He seems undersized, but that was a great spin in the middle of traffic there.
Abekibel against Gapak. This time it's Abejuela against Del Pozo. Being swarmed. The steal by Gapak. Finds Del Pozo almost a turnover. Del Pozo no look pass. Gapak tries to muscle his way inside. That won't work. Abekibel has the leather. The hesitation. The spin. And a foul going to be called on Bulacan.
That was a very awkward looking fast break for Bulacan. Poor spacing between Gapak and Del Pozo, resulting in a bad shot for Gapak.
And as the possession resets for Antipolo, let us greet a very happy birthday to Arth Shelby Pielago of our production team. Thank you very much and happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
We wish you enjoy our game. But then again, just like what Coach Mark said, if you love offense, this is not the game for you. Meanwhile, just a 3-point lead for Antipolo. Close one we have here. Jared Cruz, no hesitation. Another foul at the 3-point line. This time it's Mark Russell Santos getting called.
At that time, he didn't hit the shooting arm, but he landed in the spot of where the shooter was supposed to land. So another no-no there.
So is that the cylinder, Coach, that we call? Or it's a different concept?
It is the cylinder. You have to allow the offensive player to land cleanly.
So props to our officials for calling that one. But now let's turn it over to Miss Rinoa Sanchez for a report.
All-out support for Antipolo JY Titans today as we hear their marching band roaring for them. And kanina nga, sabi pa ni Coach B-Boy na every time magkakaroon ng best player of the game ay binibigyan pa sila ng 3K compensation. Pero on the other hand, despite the good intention behind it, ang mga players niya daw ay nagiging gigil makascore. At ang sabi niya, every time na mag-e-ensayo sila ay kinakausap niya upang hindi nila makalimutan ang kahalagahan ng pagiging team player, Cho and Coach Mark.
Thank you very much, Rinoa, for that sharing. Again, basketball is a team sport, so at the end of the day, a team player will get accepted to a team rather than an individual skilled player.
Exactly. That's Coach. That's what you look for in a tryout. Somebody who can fit in the team system or in the team concept, not a one-on-one guy.
Meanwhile, Castillo losing the leather, picked up by JT Bulacan Taipan. The lead is at 4. Antipolo still in the driver's seat as Bulacan passes it around the arc. Mark Russell Santos, the pick from De La Vega. Santos inside, loses it. Ferrer picks it up. Will hand it off to Abejuela. This time it's Cruz once again. Jared Cruz steps back, pulls up. That won't fall. Lacson. Now De La Vega finding Santos. He does. Hands it off. He provides a pick. De La Vega. Santos. Now Lacson. Picked up by Habuela. Another pick from De La Vega. As Lacson now to Santos. Inside. Tough shot. Will not go in apparently. But almost did. As we're now under 5 minutes in our third period. Abejuela, now Jared Cruz from deep. That is way off.
Again, Cruz has been one of the guys who has been good offensively for Bulacan or Antipolo, but that time he's asking for a sub. He looks tired, signaling to his bench. He wants to get subbed out, and obviously from that shot, he is tired, Joe.
And hopefully, Mr. Abekibel will pick up the slack of the other teammates again. Mr. Jared Cruz is indeed tired and will look to be subbed. But still, he stays on the floor.
Coach B-Boy says, "You stay. We need offense."
And to add to that is Mr. Abekibel, who is the second leading scorer of this game with 6. Santos fires up for 3. Unable to sink it. Fajardo grabs the board. Drop pass to Lacson. What a pass.
And they need more of that. Talking about Bulacan. These extra passes, unselfish plays. Bulacan needs that. And great steal off the press.
Again, defense will be the factor that will anchor one of these teams to a victory. But as of right now, Antipolo still in the driver's seat, just 2 points. As we're having a rainy afternoon here in Antipolo City. But as of this ball game, nothing is raining. And Santos, elbow jumper is good.
Yeah, that's a much better shot from Mark Russell Santos there. For going to 3, stepping into a higher percentage jumper.
That's what you like, decision making. Now Antipolo decides for a one-hander. Castillo gets it in.
Castillo slowly but surely contributing here in the game.
Lacson. 2-point lead for Antipolo. Mark Russell Santos. In and out. Abekibel brings it down for the Titans. Abekibel in traffic. That won't go in.
Struggles continue for both these teams. They're trying to run plays. Bulacan likes these multiple staggered screens to free up shooters. On the other hand, Antipolo runs a split post type of offense. Pero right now, the offensive struggles to continue. They can run all the plays, but they need to hit the shots.
Santos, another shot. Putting up a lot of those apparently.
Yep, a lot of hero ball here from Mark Russell Santos.
Feeling like Russell Del Pozo. Again, that's the effect. Now we see Santos getting out of the ball game. Another big-time shot taker in Victoria.
Yeah, interesting that Russell Del Pozo not really getting his usual minutes here.
But to the delight of the Bulacan squad, it's just a 2-point lead for Antipolo. Pulong Barit in the post, going to work. Good defense from Castillo. And here they go, able to cross half court just barely in time. Ferrer against Victoria, losing it, picked up by Laksamana. Lacson, forward pass, Pangan at the corner, now out. Laksamana once again, traveling violation.
I think this will trigger a timeout sooner rather than later. Both teams failing to execute. They've been stuck at 35 and 33 respectively for around at least 3 minutes.
And again, I don't know whether it's because of defense or the lack of offense, coach?
It's both. And now it's the turnovers. It's been piling up here in the third. And that's going to be a problem for both these teams because you're giving up possessions. You need more possessions, more shots, right? More shots you take, more chances of it going in. Well, lesser shots, obviously, lesser chances of offense going in.
Definitely defense will be the anchor. Meanwhile, Hilario able to convert at the break.
And that's where Hilario is at his best, getting out in transition, using his strength to bump off his defender for the layup.
Again, Jed Hilario, a spark off the bench. I believe had 14 in their first ever game. Me and Coach Mark also covered that game.
Yeah, we were here.
In this venue as well.
In this venue.
As we see Victoria tried it off the glass, that won't work. Pangan to Victoria. That is way off. Out of bounds possession going to Antipolo.
So far, the big-time shot makers are not making shots for Bulacan.
Again, quite the ironic game, but this time a turnover. And that'll do it for our third period. 37-33. The Antipolo JY Titans still with the upper hand. And again, still no spark in the offense and almost decent defense. But nonetheless, me and Coach Mark shall be back. Once again, this is Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL.
Liga ng bayan na to. Mga kabataan na
We return to the action for the start of our fourth and final period. Once again, the battle between Bulacan JT Taipan and the Antipolo JY Titans. Just a 4-point upper hand right here by Antipolo. As we look to begin our fourth period. Bulacan, a quick fire from three. That still won't fall for them.
And again, talking about threes, Cho, looking at the stats once again from the outside, Bulacan is now 5 of 29 from the outside.
What an absurd efficiency right there. But let's see if they will try something else. Pulong Barit inside the paint. The spin, muscles his way through.
That's a great reverse pivot by Pulong Parit. Rarely do you see young bigs use their pivots well.
Great footwork indeed coming from the big guy. Cuts it to just a single possession lead for Antipolo. Castillo though, in and out for him. But they get it back. Another try, still won't fall for Antipolo. Here goes JT Bulacan Taipan. Victoria at the baseline, nowhere to go, sends it out. Pulong Barit, Laksamana. They swing it around the arc. Still with them, Lacson, no good. Good defense in the paint. Traveling violation forced by Antipolo.
Better defense there from Antipolo, getting the stop. Again, this time in the fourth quarter, Cho, whatever team here locks it down, gets more chances of forcing turnovers, probably comes out with a win.
Definitely agree with you, Coach. And so far, I really can't tell if one team is playing better defense than the other. Right now, we shall see. As we see Mark Russell Santos harassing Hilario, able to eat off couple of seconds, but proceeds to foul him anyway.
It's tough to play defense like that and waste it on a foul. There's a lot of techniques to be taught there, Joe, whenever you're pressing the basketball. And it's something these young guards, not just for Bulacan, but for the rest of the junior MPBL, they have to be taught how to pressure properly.
Of course, I'm almost certain, all coaches will not give you the go signal to poke at the basketball.
Exactly. Again, offensive rebounding in the works here for Antipolo, getting them second and third opportunities, and Cruz getting 2 free throws.
And once again, Jared Cruz playing almost 26 minutes in our ball game, has 16 to his name. The leading scorer in this ball game. His first one is off. Had 4 rebounds and apparently 0 assists. So he has been taking really all the shots for Antipolo.
I mean, it's tough to have an assist when you're struggling this tough from the field. Only 7 assists for Bulacan and 5 for Antipolo.
And take note, we are in the 4th quarter.
Yes, not the first, but the 4th.
Definitely something to look forward to. But here comes MPBL, steps at the elbow, sends it out to Hilario. Falls to the ground, picked up by Bulacan. Del Pozo at the break, the bump, the convert.
And the stare down. That's the maturity of the game from Russell Del Pozo. Last year he would have pulled up from half court, but this time he's built some strength, a lot of muscle there in that frame now. So he's able to attack and take the hits.
Pulling up from half court in a fast break is definitely Russell Del Pozo like.
The first time I saw Russell Del Pozo play in San Andres, Manila, he was pulling up from half court. Twice, maybe thrice, and he made 2.
So you really can't blame him, but at the same time, there's smarter shots than that. And he got 2 points. Meanwhile, Hilario losing it, sends it inside. Great find to Castillo, basket and 1. Well-written play from Antipolo as they give themselves a 3-point lead. We take another look. And this pound-for-pound fitness foul counted move.
Pulong Barret will have his hands for. He's the only legitimate pick there for the Taipan. And with Castillo manning the paint, Castillo already, we talked about him, he has 7 points and 10 rebounds.
So another guy helping Mr. Cruz in this struggle for Antipolo. Meanwhile, shot clock at 4. Del Pozo, that's what we've been talking about. But that won't hit for him.
Oh, it's a sumo wrestling match in the paint.
And apparently it was 4 guys. We didn't see Mr. Nashon as he was underneath a pile of bodies.
Guys were trying to block out after the shot was taken. See what happened here. After the shot by Del Pozo, you see the block out happening there, pushing and more pushing. Guys just falling down on top of each other. You see at the bottom of your screen, that was Nashon and Pulong Barret. I think Pulong Barret had Nashon in, that was almost a headlock. The referees will have to take a look at that. Now, if our officials deem that as not a basketball play, this could be, at the very least, an unsportsmanlike foul on Pulong Barret. See, the right arm there was draped on the neck of Nashon, pulling him down. At least an unsportsmanlike foul. The worst thing that can happen here, this could be a disqualifying foul because it's above the shoulder. See, again, bottom of the screenshot right there. UFC 303 was just the other day. And Pulong Barret, really, you can see there, he just took off his right arm.
It's going to be a big development if ever they do get sportsmanlike fouls.
Because aside from the foul and 2 free throws, Pulong Barret will have to sit down for 3 minutes. 3 game minutes. So he can only come back with 3 minutes and 50 seconds at the earliest.
Again, Pulong Barret has been a great contributor for his squad. I'm sure, Bulacan will take a big hit with his absence, if ever. We're taking a look.
Oh, it's a double foul. Interesting. Okay. But that's 4 now in Pulumbarit.
So I think Pulong Barit will take that foul rather than sitting on the bench for 3 minutes.
And giving up 2 free throws.
Exactly.
But ball goes to Antipolo, and Pulumbarit will now have to manage his fouls.
That will definitely affect his defense. But right now, I believe, yeah, he's going to be continued to play, and he's not going to be sat down. So play continues, but here comes JT Bulacan Taipan, able to get a steal. De La Vega hands it off. Santos back in the ball game. Here's Santos inside the spin. Oh, the fade away. Call him Russell Del Pozo Jr. Meanwhile, inside Castillo, that came from MPBL. Now it's Hilario, tough shot. They're able to draw fouls. So 2 free throws coming up for Jed Hilario.
Whether it was unintentional or not, that was a great scissor cut by Hilario, and the handoff by Castillo. Bulacan was not ready for that action.
And again, if you're Antipolo, you want to take advantage of the fact that, first of all, Bulacan is now at the penalty, and Pulong Barit has 4 fouls rather.
And this is, I feel like this is the first time I've seen Russell Del Pozo not in double figures. He only has 7 points. But he's only played less than 10 minutes.
So again, we're all scratching our heads.
That's the problem when you, sometimes when you bench one of the best guys, you know, regardless of if there's a reason, if there's a legitimate reason, that's on the team. But if it's something that you want to experiment on, it really throws off the timing and, you know, the speed of your team here. Here comes the Stags again, reversing it to Del Pozo. Ooh.
Oh, ripping the ropes as he looks for a foul.
That could have been a foul. I see why he's mad.
Nonetheless, Mr. Del Pozo will take that 3-pointer. Just a 2-point lead for Antipolo. And now he's in double figures as Cruz answers back with a 3-pointer.
Speaking of double figures, Cruz has been big time here for Antipolo. 20 points, Joe. Almost a little than half of the score of his team.
20 points, no assists, all buckets. Meanwhile, Gapak against MPBL. Santos for 3. That goes in. Oh.
That wasn't almost going anywhere, but good thing Mark Russell Santos was ready to shoot that, and he was wide open.
And the Russells are, you know, loving to shoot the basketball. Meanwhile, Castillo is smooth with that jumper.
And there's a foul. Castillo now working on a double-double, Joe. 9 points, 10 boards. Hitting some key shots here. Machon got called for a foul off the ball. That's his 3rd.
If we're gonna look at the foul situation, coach, only 1 for Antipolo in this quarter. Bulacan now at the limit. Meanwhile, Gapak out of bounds, possession going to Antipolo.
The great defense there, and as you said, because Antipolo is not in the penalty, this allows them to be very aggressive with their pressure. That time, Gapak hounded, turns the ball over.
Hilario almost losing it, able to escape Santos. Sends it out and picked up by Gapak. Here they go, Santos for 3. That won't connect. Gapak saves it. Nashon picks it up for Antipolo. Here comes the Titans. Nashon drops it. The reverse by Hilario. Sorry, miss from him.
Bad miss there by Hilario. The English was on the other end.
Del Pozo, not that time. Last 4 minutes of our fourth period. 4-point gap. Another foul going to be called on Bulacan. So that's free throws for Mr. Acknowledgments.
Bad foul from Del Pozo on the half court during the penalty. Again, you know, that's something you need to be smart about when you pressure the basketball. Understand when you can get in the space of the guy with the ball, when you need to release the pressure.
And again, you know, you talked about Mr. Del Pozo having a more mature game. Certainly, one of the things he can learn more. There's already great scoring game as Acknowledgments will miss the mark on that first free throw to the delight of Bulacan.
To the delight.
Second one on its way. Four-point gap. Antipolo still in the driver's seat. Here they go, Bulacan. Gapak. Shot clock at 10. Hands it off to Del Pozo. He looks at the time. Shot clock now down to 5. They have nowhere to go. Santos will need to put one up. He does. Unable to put it in. Castillo to Acknowledgments. He attacks. Oh, what a sidestep coming from Acknowledgments.
Beautiful move by Acknowledgments, selling one way, finishing the other.
But Bulacan, a chance to respond with this possession. Nowhere to go. Pulong Barit against Castillo inside. Basket and one for the big guy, Simon Pulong Barit.
And that's been available there for Bulacan the whole way. You'll see it again. The pound-for-pound fitness foul counted move of the game. The bump. The big boy move by Simon Pulong Barit.
And the bump is an understatement to what he did.
Kung ako yung tinamaan nun, Cho, out ako 1 week.
Naka-wheelchair pa.
Sub.
And again, you know, you can limit him on defense with his 4 fouls, but you cannot limit him on offense.
And the free throw off the glass.
How do you like that one? And more importantly, cutting the lead to just 4 for Antipolo. Hilario against Del Pozo. As we hear the drums rolling. Hilario loses the leather. Under 3 minutes remaining, Gapak. The screen from Pulong Barit. Del Pozo thought about the 3. Inside, drop pass to Simon. Pulong Barit. Sorry, miss for him.
Tough miss there for Pulong Barit. But that moment where Del Pozo, instead of, after dropping the pass, going to the weak side, he went to the side where Pulong Barit was, just enough to throw him off a bit.
2-possession game. Antipolo in the driver's seat. The hometown heroes looking to win in fashion. Acknowledgments harassed by Gapak. Castillo looking to provide the pick. Acknowledgments almost losing it. He saves it. Now Castillo. Shot clock down to 6. Acknowledgments against Del Pozo. Del Pozo able to get the steal. But an offensive foul going to be called on Russell Del Pozo.
Interesting call. Obviously, the whole contingent of Bulacan not happy with that.
Coach Mark, let's take another look on what transpired right there.
Great steal by Del Pozo. Ooh, okay. I mean, there was contact, but you have to credit Acknowledgments for the Oscar-worthy flop.
I mean, respect to Mr. Acknowledgments for that sell.
That was Oscar-worthy.
So that'll mean free throws. Or will it mean free throws? No.
Oh, it's an offensive
Yes,
foul.
it's an offensive foul.
Same ball possession.
But still, we're down to our last 2 minutes. And every possession will count right here.
Wait, if that's an offensive foul, that shouldn't be free throws unless somebody was called for a tech. We haven't heard any announcements yet.
So we're all wondering, but again,
Looks like it was a tick. One free throw for Cruz.
perhaps on Del Pozo for running to the bench and complaining. So that's a big hit. Make that a 5-point lead for Antipolo and a possession for them. That's a big hit. Again, it's a 5-point lead. 2-possession game. Quintero handing it off. Castillo. Now Ferrer back in the ball game for Antipolo. We're in the twilight zone. Cruz losing it. Santos tried to dive for the basketball.
And our referees will have to review this because could be considered an unsportsmanlike foul. Nobody was in front of Mark Russell Santos in terms of defense. You see here the dive, the foul was there. It was no play for the ball. Referees will have to check this.
Another slower replay. Again, we saw Mark Russell Santos and Jared Cruz slide to the floor in pursuit of the basketball. So again, our officials will have to make a decision right here. And looks like they already did. We're still waiting for it apparently. But again, Bulacan will have to level up their gameplay. They're down by 5 under 2 minutes remaining. Oh, an unsportsmanlike foul.
Exactly. That used to be called a clear path foul because nobody was in front of the guy with the possession of the ball. So right now they've categorized it into a more umbrella term of unsportsmanlike because there was no play for the ball.
So big development right here, but if you're Bulacan, you have a chance to minimize the lead perhaps into just 1 possession. Not to mention you have 2 free throws as well. So again, Bulacan able to get a break. A while ago, Pulong Barit was called for his 4th foul, but now, again, a chance for them to make this a closer one.
And the bench of Antipolo not happy with it, but that's the right call. They don't understand the rules here. Has to be clarified, but again, that was a clear path foul back in the day. Now it's categorized as unsportsmanlike.
But who can blame them? It's a close game, you know?
Yeah.
Emotions running high.
And every point counts. You still have 1 minute 52 left. Big free throws here for Mark Russell Santos.
First one is good for Mr. Russell Santos. We don't want to send the Russell to the free throw line. Second one on its way. He goes 2 out of 2. The guts. No pressure for Mr. Mark Russell Santos.
And what's more important here, Bulacan gets possession. So they're only down 3. And you know, with Santos and Del Pozo on your lineup, that's not safe.
Perhaps a chance to tie the ball game up. Gapak to Santos against Abejuela.
The elevator.
Del Pozo thought about the 3. Good pickup from Ferrer. He will take it nonetheless. And he will miss.
He had the shot coming off the elevator there. He decided to he needs to pull up. That's the thing with Russell Del Pozo. His momentum or his rhythm comes from the dribble.
But unfortunately, he will miss that shot. Tough break for Bulacan. Again, could have tied the ball game up, just like what Coach Mark said.
Oh, bad foul. That's twice now that Santos have been called for the same foul.
Again, not to mention, Coach, yung foul din kanina ni Del Pozo.
Yeah. So their two main guys committing some fouls here na hindi nila kailangan. You see it again, the bump. It's a clear foul. He initiated the contact.
And again, you know, there's a right way to play pressure defense. As we see the crowd, no, the support from the fans of the Titans.
Ba talaga pag home court show?
Exactly. You know, iba talaga pag home court ko din.
Oo. Dito tayo sa UA, galing ka sa LA.
But right now, you know, there's no lead really secured. As Antipolo having a 5-point lead. Del Pozo What shall he do? The pick from De La Vega. Looking to double team him. Ferrer. But now this time, diving for the basketball. It's still with him. Del Pozo down to 3 seconds. Santos.
That's free throws as well.
Yes, because both teams now reaching the foul limit.
And the bench of Antipolo has to be careful because they're borderline going to get the tech here from complaining. They're complaining to the referees. They have to be careful. And one of the assistant coaches doing something has to be seen on TV.
Again, the hometown heroes and its fans. Emotions running high. Coach B-Boy Simon.
There it is.
Their team manager, Bot Arimado, having some words for our officials.
There's a warning now on the bench of the JY Titans.
Santos, first one is good. You gotta love the composure of this kid.
Also, I'd like to shout out our friends on the panel, Coach Noy Africa and Mr. Jaime Mendihar.
And he's watching. He's been messaging me.
I know he's watching.
But Gapak, no good that time. Picked up by Ferrer. Antipolo again with the upper hand.
Another bad foul by Bulacan. They just keep shooting themselves in the foot.
Nino Ferrer shall go to the free throw line as we're down to our last minute of our fourth period. Slowly but surely, the Antipolo Titans looking to get away with a W. Ferrer, first one is good. A chance to make it a 6-point lead. Ferrer, second free throw on its way. 2 out of 2 for him. With a nature spring timeout called by the JT Bulacan Taipan as they are down by 6. Last 1 minute in our fourth and final period. We return to the action right here for the last 1 minute of our fourth and final period. Again, it's a 6-point lead for the Antipolo JY Tyrants, the hometown heroes looking to win in their home court, in their hometown. And take note, Bulacan JD Taipan has a record of 5-0. And they're looking to continue their winning ways as Del Pozo fires for 3. That is off. Pulong Bale tries to save it out of bounds. Possession will go to Antipolo.
All hope is not lost here for Bulacan. That full court press has been working for them. They just need to generate some turnovers here.
Meanwhile, again, they have to be careful with the fouls. Here they go, Antipolo able to cross half court. Bulacan having a hard time to pressure them. And great swipe coming from Del Pozo. And a foul going to be committed by a Becky Bell.
And that's 2 free throws again for Mark Russell Santos. You can go back to Del Pozo not getting his usual minutes. When you're a guy who's used to starting, who's used to getting heavy minutes, and you get taken off the bench, late in the second quarter, it throws you off your timing. And that's what we're seeing here with Russell Del Pozo. He's not used to checking in late into the game, having to, expend a lot of energy immediately trying to get this team back in the game. That's why he's been struggling. He can't find his timing, has no rhythm. That's why he's been struggling.
Certainly has been an issue in this ball game. Again, we all had our heads being scratched when Del Pozo was inserted late in the ball game. But as of right now, that is the least of their concerns. As Antipolo still up by 5. Nature Spring timeout called right here by Coach B-Boy Simon. 37 seconds remaining in our 4th and final period. What a game it has been. Again, so far, Jared Cruz leading the charge. 21 points, but Del Pozo, only 10 points for him.
And we say only because we know easily Russell Del Pozo can drop 30 points any given time. But again, we talked about his struggles coming off the bench late in that second quarter. And a replay of the last possession here off the inbound. Whose last touch it was? Looks like it was from Mark Russell Santos. Now the key here, Antipolo inbounding full court, so they have 37 seconds. They have a full shot clock. They need to get the ball through, not commit any mental errors here. Watch the double. There it is.
And here comes Bulacan able to grab the
that's a bad
steal.
pass.
Counter steal.
Counter
coming
steal.
from Castillo.
And the foul, and that should be 5 on Del Pozo. Double black eye.
That is tough. It's not Bulacan's day. I mean, again, coming into the game undefeated, now you're heading into your potential first loss of the season.
And again, so it's when Santos, who's been taking shots with no conscience the whole game, the moment he had a floater, he decides to pass it. That's when he turned the ball over. And that's tough. He had a floater already off the steal. He could have taken that.
And again, it has been really a struggle, just like what Coach Mark said. You know, in terms of decision making, it hasn't really been well for Bulacan. In terms of shot selections, decision making, even in defense when you try to poke the basketball.
Exactly. And they've shot themselves in the foot multiple times in this game.
There you go again, another bad shot, still with them. Sends it out, they fire for 3, De La Vega. That won't hit. Pulong Barit, another try, that is good. But they're still down by 4.
Another timeout. Coach B-Boy Simon trying to make sure he gets this dub without not leaving anything to chance here. Great offensive rebound by Gapak. Another great offensive rebound by Pulong Barit over 2 players.
Nature Spring timeout called right here. And again, still a 4-point lead for Antipolo. Still a 2-possession game. The clock is not Bulacan's friend. And if you're Antipolo, you're heading into your 3rd win of the season. Going for a 3-3 and giving Bulacan their first loss.
They just have to get the ball inbounded here properly. And interesting that Coach B-Boy is deciding to inbound full court. In the back court here, not in the front court. So this gives the Taipan a chance to steal it early and get a layup instead of just inbounding in the front court.
So again, it's a really, definitely a weird choice for Coach B-Boy.
Almost. Great pass.
Again, that will do it. The first loss of the JT Bulacan Taipan this season, being handed by no other than our hometown heroes, the Antipolo JY Tyrants. Our final score, 56-52. Congratulations to our homeowners, the boys from Antipolo. What a game it has been. Again, Coach Mark said, if you like offense, this is not the game for you. And all throughout, they've been struggling, but only one team shall go on top. And this time, at least for now, it's the Antipolo JY Tyrants. For our best player of the game, again, you know who's who. Everyone has been struggling, but only one had the guts to put up shots and put them in. And now let's have Miss Rinoa Sanchez introduce us to him.
Here beside me is the best player of the game from Antipolo, JY Titan, Mr. Jared Cruz. Congratulations. Alam mo, kanina tinanong ko si Coach B-Boy kung sino yung sa tingin niya magsi-step up at isa ka sa sinabi niya. And nakita natin sa playing time mo na he really utilized and maximize your potential today.
Masasabi ko lang po, kinailangan po namin bumawi po talaga sa talo po namin against Rizal po. Yun po, sa tingin ko naman na bigay namin yung best namin at natalo po namin yung top 1 sa bracket namin.
How about your performance? Are you happy with what you have showcased to everyone today?
Siyempre po, masaya po. Kasi po na-maximize ko nga po, tulad ng sabi niyo, yung oras ko po sa court. Yun lang po.
Ayan, baka may gusto kang pasalamatan na nanonood sa'yo ngayong araw.
Unang-una, salamat po kay Lord na nagbigay lakas po sa amin sa buong Antipolo community po, kay Boss Rafi, kay Boss JY, sa mga coaches po, kay Coaches B-Boy, Coach Ike, and si Coach Mark po. Tapos shoutout din po sa pamilya ko, kay Mami, Daddy, pati po sa girlfriend ko po, kay Ninya Sophia po. Yan lang po.
Ayan, once again, congratulations, Mr. Jared Cruz with 21 points and 6 rebounds. We would also like to thank Don Benitos for providing a sumptuous Filipino delicacy to our best player of the game. Don Benitos, ang pambansang kasabat. Coach Mark?
Thank you very much, Rinoa. Our Don Benitos, best player of the game, the leading scorer of the Antipolo JY Titans, Mr. Jared Cruz. Once again, congratulations to the 18 under boys, but still 2 more games coming up. 16 under division on your way still between the JT Bulacan Taipan and the Antipolo JY Tyrants. Once again, it's Cho Pangilinan, Coach Mark Dandan, and this is Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL.
Liga ng bayan na to, mga kabataan na sugod, Junior MPBL para sa'yo. Ang liga ng bawat batang Pilipino, liga ng bayan na to. Klaro na to, huwag kang sumuko sa gustong gawin. Isang pangarap, isang tagumpay, yeah. Gabayad pag-asa ng bayan, landas pagbabago, pag-asa, ikaw ang mahalaga. Iba't iba, pero isang halaga. Nagkakaisa, nagmamahalan, nagtutulungan. Liga ng bayan na to.
Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL.
Would like to thank Dorite Bola ng Pinoy, the first Pinoy basketball brand, Don Benitos, ang pambansang kasava, Nature Spring, #1 bottled water in the Philippines, Pound for Pound Fitness, Be Liga Ready, Jinky Skin, empowering women by redefining beauty, Pound Active, for quality sportswear, Wing Bowl, it's like coming home, Chris Jacob Collection, for affordable but quality daily perfumes,